All right, let's start with this. The African National Congress's Integrity Commission has finally met with President Cyril Ramaphosa. The commission requested a meeting with the ANC president in 2018 when the issue of BOSASA and his CR17 campaign funds were raised. Of course, that's when he was chosen as party leader. However, the commission said it was disappointed that it did not deal extensively with the matter, as President Ramaphosa says it's still before the courts. Our reporter Samkele Maseko has been following this story. Samkele, tell us more about what we know about what went down when the president met with the Integrity Committee.
What we know is that the president was very elusive when he met with the Integrity Commission of the party. He said that he could not delve too much and was uncomfortable deliberating on the matters of the CR17 campaign funds, as the matter was still sub judice. It was still being ventilated in a court of law. You remember that complaint by the former DA leader Musa Maimane over the 500,000 rands donation by the late Gavin Watson, who used to be the CEO of African Global Operations, formerly trading as BOSASA. The Integrity Commission of the ANC, chaired by George Mashamba, saying that it was very disappointed that the president came armed with his legal advisor to this engagement, 2.5-hour engagement with the Integrity Commission, and from the onset stated that he was uncomfortable deliberating on the matter. It was still sub judice. The Integrity Commission was not very happy about that, and the Integrity Commission goes further to say that they became increasingly worried day by day that 18 months had passed on with the president seemingly not being available to give the Integrity Commission an ear and to listen to them and to present himself to the Integrity Commission to further ventilate the issues of the CR17 campaign funds. They go further to say that they particularly were happy when the president made some presentations and some proposals on the ANC's internal funds campaigning internally within the governing party and the sourcing of funds for these particular campaigns, which eventually need to be declared to the ANC's Integrity Commission.
So this is interesting, Samkele. As far as I know, the ANC president has always maintained that he was not in charge of his campaign funds. He didn't really know who was donating funds. He focused on the campaign and he left that to other people. Why can't he just say that to the Integrity Committee itself?
One could draw the line that the president is seemingly respecting the court of law. For instance, if we go to the document that we've seen from the Integrity Commission, it clearly stipulates that there is a blurring of lines between the ANC's accountability, which is political within the Integrity Commission, and the blurring of lines with the legal aspect of this particular case, which is currently in the courts of law. And that battle that the president is currently raging with the public protector advocate Bosiswe Mkhwebane over those CR17 campaign funds and the unsealing of those CR17 bank statements that saw the various companies donate and individuals donate to that particular campaign. For instance, if we go to the admission by James Mutlatsi, who's the former the president of the National Union of Mine Workers, which is founding president alongside its founding general secretary, Cyril Ramaphosa, who are longtime friends. James Mutlatsi has come out in the affidavits that he had with the public protector, and he had disposed and filed that he was the one who went to Gavin Watson to solicit that 500,000 rand donation for the CR17 campaign. So essentially, the president is correct when he says that he was not in charge of the CR17 campaign funds. There were other people who were in charge, but it rather becomes bizarre because at the end, those funds of the CR17 were then transferred to the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation. And it is the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation that also went and donated funds to the ANC's 2019 general elections campaign. You saw those various stories by one of the Sunday newspapers saying that you've got monies left over from the CR17 campaign. What do? You fund your own ANC election campaign for the presidency of the Republic of South Africa. So essentially, those are some of the issues that the president is going to and was supposed to ventilate with the Integrity Commission, but it was not to be with the president saying that he was not comfortable discussing the matter. But interestingly, the Integrity Commission says that they've been waiting to have an engagement with the president for 18 months. The president in the NEC meeting of the 28th to the 30th of August, that's the NEC meeting that he and the entire top six briefed us as the media, and that's where the president said that he would volunteer himself to the Integrity Commission of the party. So one can easily ask the question, did the president eventually avail himself to the Integrity Commission of the party upon pressure in the National Executive Committee meeting were the issues of the CR17 campaign funds and were the issue of the stepping aside resolution of the African National Congress and the line being drawn in the sand in that statement that was written by the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. And in that press briefing that was addressed by the president, was he eventually pushed to go to the Integrity Commission of the ANC upon realization of the stepping aside resolution kicking in of all ANC leaders who are currently charged. If I'm not mistaken, Francis, this is the very same National Executive Committee meeting that the likes of Tony Yengeni earlier on during the day in the National Working Committee meeting did push for certain things to happen within the governing party. And it is the same National Executive Committee meeting that Ekurhuleni Regional Chairperson and Mayor Mzwandile Masina went to pull a Ronald Lamula by protesting alone outside St. George's Hotel, trying to enforce the ANC to implement all of the 54th National Conference resolution that all leaders of the African National Congress who are charged must step aside, which was then events that unfolded afterwards was the likes of Bongani Bongo, ANC NEC member and chairperson of the Home Affairs Portfolio Committee and member of Parliament, who had initially said that they are willing to step aside on the virtue that they are currently charged when it comes to the issues of the bribery allegations on Advocate Tutuzelo Vanara, now of the SABC, was then heading the parliamentary inquiry into the affairs at ESCOM, and also the issues of the fraud and corruption and money laundering charges that have now been instituted against him. You've seen the likes of Zandile Kumete stepping aside, now bring back to the fore, the likes of Michael Mabuya Kulu as well.
We've run out of time. May I ask you to just in a minute, tell us if you think this opens the president up to criticism within his own party, because like you say, he supported the rule where people step aside while their case plays out in the courts, which would mean that moral, ethical duties are seen as paramount rather than the legal issues. And yet here he is raising legal issues.
The issue of stepping aside within the African National Congress is for those who are charged with serious crimes. It then brings about the question, is the president currently charged with a serious crime? Is he in a court of law with a various charge or not? I don't know if he's currently facing any criminal charge. I know that he's taken various reports of the public protector on legal review. And also what we do know is that the Secretary General of the ANC, S. Magashule, is charged. And Francis, from day one, President Cyril Ramaphosa of the country and then president of the ANC has been criticized internally in the governing party. So this does not initially or essentially open him up for criticism. The criticism has been ongoing from his political detractors and critics within the governing party. So they are going perhaps to have a field day, and perhaps it's going to be Ace Magashule versus Secretary General of the ANC, S. Magashule, in the next NEC meeting that will deliberate on these reports. And that you've got a recommendation that the SG must step aside. Yet the president, there is no clear, conclusive findings and recommendations by the Integrity Commission. It was just a meet and chat and some proposals here and there on the issues of internal funding of the campaign. But the issue was shut down by the president when he essentially said the matter is sub judice.
All right, and you'll follow that story for us. Thank you very much, senior reporter Samkele Maseko.